Something that's been on my mind lately, or what's feeling very alive for me lately, has to do with distractions. And so I was talking about last week how for the month of August, my intention is to start posting on YouTube one video a week. So I'm one video down, yay! And this is video number 2. And what was starting to come into my mind is all those things where we feel like, oh, well, I need to get this and I need to get that. And now I'm starting to look up those little mini mics and all these things, right? And the reality is I have a mic already. I have this mic that I bought, I think last year or the year before or something like that. And it's kind of like, Michelle, use what it is that you have, right? And these are the ways, like the sneaky little ways that distractions come in on our journey to try to like get us off track, because that's the thing that's been feeling very alive for me, is this whole concept of distractions. And so I really have been sitting with the question, like, what are you using as your distractions? Is it the phone? Is it social media? Is it being involved in other people's lives, being involved in drama? Is it falling into procrastination? Is it avoiding taking action? And it's like, what are those distractions actually distracting you from? Is it a hard conversation that you know you need to have? Is it some feelings that don't feel that good that you're trying to like push down and push away? Is it taking action towards something that you know will push the needle? We distract ourselves all the time. And I think what's important and what I'm really realizing about the distractions is knowing how we distract ourselves. And so I started talking last week about how I removed social media, right? I have social media bricked right now: Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Substack. I think that's all of them. And I have them all blocked right now because when I took time off of work, I was off for 2 weeks, right? This was the first week that I went back into work. And so the first week that I had off, I realized, because now that I didn't have work as this kind of major thing in my life, I had more spaciousness. And in that spaciousness, there was so much noise because I was on social media like crazy. I was just scrolling. And I had fallen into this habit and had been in this habit for a little bit. Like, if I'm being honest with myself, I had fallen into the trap of consuming for a couple months, at least the last like 2 months for sure. And so now that I didn't have work, I just had all of this time, and I was filling a lot of the time in those first couple of days of me being off of work with social. I was on there, I was scrolling, I was checking it in the morning time, which was not something that I typically do. And I realized just how cloudy my mind was feeling. Like, I could actually feel it. And that was what really just prompted me to be like, yeah, it's time to come off of these. I just need to block these for a bit so that I can clear up all of the noise that I was feeling. And when I did that, you don't always realize how much something is a distraction until you remove it. And so removing it made me realize how big of a distraction it actually was for me. And it's an interesting thing, right? Because part of my work requires me to be online, to use social media. And I recognize that. It is something that I want to do. It's something that I feel called towards doing. Social media is a place that I do feel resonance with. I have connected with really, really cool people along my journey who are a part of my entrepreneurial and spiritual and creative community now. And I'm so grateful for all of the people that social media has connected me with. But at the same time, I also recognize that it is a huge distraction for me. And what it's making me realize, like, as I've been really sitting with this and just like processing it over these last like 2-3 weeks, is that part of what I need to do is, one, recognize that it is a distraction. And I know that social media is a distraction for me. It is. But in the same breath, it's also a tool that I use to do the work that it is that I do. And so what I've been thinking about lately is, how do I balance it? And I realized that that's what this season is asking of me, right? It's asking me to figure that out, because it's something that I use and something that I want to use and something that I need to use, but it is also something that gets in the way of allowing me to do the work that I feel called to do. And so what's feeling alive for me now is, I feel like taking social media detoxes is something that I need to do more regularly. So what would happen for me is pretty much exactly what happened this time around, where it would get to the point where I was just feeling so cloudy, and like my psyche and my energy just felt so noisy. And I would know deep down that it's social media, and I would know, okay, Michelle, you need to take a break from it. And then I would just take a break from it, right? It was not something that was very intentional or something that was proactive. It was definitely me being reactive. And what I'm realizing as I've been really reflecting and thinking about it is, my relationship with social media is so heavily tied to my entire healing journey, spiritual journey, entrepreneurship journey. It is the thing that literally started everything. When I deleted social media in 2019 and then spent the next three and a half years off of social media, that was the catalyst. That choice of removing it from my life was the catalyst that started everything that came after it. And so what I am now realizing with a lot more clarity is that me taking breaks from social media is a part of my creative process. It's something that I have to do, and not just something that I do when it gets so bad that I have no choice but to remove it from my life. And so what I'm sitting with and just kind of like leaning into is, what does it look like to create balance with social media? Because again, it's something that I use and something that I want to use, but it also distracts me. And so I am sitting with, okay, what does it look like to maybe take a social media detox? Maybe it's me not being on any apps on the weekends, like at all. Or maybe it's taking a full week every month. Or maybe it's taking a week once a quarter. I don't really know, you know? And that's another part of this journey that I know you all really understand and resonate with, is that you're doing so much experimentation on the entrepreneurial journey, right? Like, you don't actually know what is the best decision until you make the decision, and then you get feedback to see, okay, this worked, this didn't work, I liked how this felt, or I didn't like how this felt. And so this is what I'm ruminating on. This is what I've been sitting with this week in particular, especially as I've gone back into work and now I'm integrating back into what my life is, my normal reality. And it just has me really thinking about it. And so this is something that I felt like I really wanted to share, because it's something that I know that a lot of you can relate to. And so I am very curious, and I would love to hear from you all about, what are the things that you recognize are distractions for you, and what do you think that they're distracting you from? I think that this is a part of what's so special and beautiful about sharing our stories and our journeys with each other, is that there's resonance, and something that I may be going through is something that somebody else also relates to and is going through. And I just think that that's really cool. And it really forms a very beautiful sense of community and communion in knowing that you're not alone in this, you know, and there are other people who are traversing similar paths as you, who understand the things that you're working through and the things that you're navigating as you are going through this particular very, very unique journey of entrepreneurship. So that's the video for today. And I'll see you guys next week. Again, no clue what I'm going to talk about. It's just going to be whatever's feeling very alive for me in the moment, what's on my mind. And there's a lot of things that have been ruminating for me and a lot of things that have come up for me. And I'm excited to talk about it and to share it and to see what else is moving in your life. So that's it for today. And I'll see you all next week.